Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome to this Cornish sneak peek at Sigma Theory, the new title in development from the studios Goblins Studio, the developers of Dungeon Rushers, and Miklos Studio, the development studio behind the award-winning Out There roguelike game. Now, couple of announcements, well not an announcement, a couple of forewarnings. This is still an early access. It is released on early access to the 18th of this month. Also, this is a press copy. This was sent to me to basically give you guys a review of it. And as I said, this game is still in early access, so things are liable to change. And also because obviously this is a press copy, my opinion may be biased because I have not bought this game myself. But first of all, let's have a look around. We're going to look at the settings. There's not much to see in the settings, just musical volumes and what language. Most of the actual setup stuff is done in the game configuration tab, which starts up before this. It might have been nice to have those settings that are in game configuration in the settings menu, like stuff like windowed and what quality the game runs at. But I suppose that can be done later on, but still it'd be nice to have them in there. I don't mind at the front. Some games do. Some games like Total War and stuff have their game configurations before the game actually fully sets up, and some don't. But that's fine. Right, Sigma Theory, folks, is a turn-based strategy game. I won't go too much into details right now of it, but it's a bit like Pandemic, which is that you plan out your actions in advance. You end your turn and your agents, your pawns in this great conspiracy, which is Sigma Theory, because this is basically an espionage-esque sci-fi game. You're attempting to unlock Sigma Theory, which is you're trying to be the first nation to unlock Sigma Theory, which is basically a technological advancement. It's basically a very complex technological discovery called Sigma Theory that you're trying to unlock and control before anybody else in the world does. And it's a good game. It's very different from a lot of other stuff I normally play. I play a lot of roguelikes or RPGs. This is very different, and I enjoy it. It's not too long to play. I've played I nearly got to the end of the game on my first attempt before I messed up and failed. There's a lot of trial and error in it, and that's where the replayability comes from, playing different factions, trying out different strategies, but we'll get into that in a bit of a second. So first of all, we're going to play a new game. That's the only thing I will say, is that, yeah, interesting, they've changed that. I don't remember that being there before. Last time I played, unless I didn't save, in case... Yeah, maybe I didn't save, that's why it's not there. Maybe that's my bad. I thought it was doing an auto-save. Probably just my own silliness, forgot to save. Oh well. We all learn from our mistakes. Right, what do you want to play? Gender male, yeah. We'll call him John Smith. That's an easy enough spy name. It's a very standard character development. You want to choose which alliance, which nation you swear allegiance to. US will find it easy to persuade scientists to work for them. Each of them come with little buffs. China gets first agent recruited by China has a master of martial arts. Okay. India's diplomatic relations with the countries moving to higher levels. Germany gets German scientists can work in any speciality. First agent recruited will always be loyal to their country. All these things play in. Each country has different buffs and debuffs. From my experience of playing, stuff like the first Japanese scientist cannot be seduced or turned to work for an external power is actually really powerful. First agent to always be loyal is also very nice. I think I'm going to go with Britain just to show off Britain. Also, it starts on a much more centralized area of the map. Right, so this is your character. You always have to have a spouse. It can be male or female. I'm going to go female, and as you can see, I would like it if there's slightly more variation like some of the nationalities only have like 1 or 2 like partner options. It would be nice if there was an even split amongst them all, but that's just me. The art style is very unique. I'm on the fence about it, to be honest. We'll go with this one. Fumiko Soda. Don't see what the point of this one is, to be honest. I'm not a massive fan of some of the more sort of like as you saw, like with the biker one, I'm not a particular fan of because I like to actually see the person's face. Or it's like this one hit. I don't know. The motorcycle helmet just doesn't do it for me, to be honest. But I like Fukumo Suda. I think this is a nice one. This was the one I did with my last run, so we've got to go with this. This is basically your personal account. This is your character, your name, the details, your spouse details. Your spouse does play into the storyline. The Brandon Determined storyline, they do actually have an influence on it. So this isn't just like window dressing. He or she will actually have quite a prominent role to play, in my experience. We're just going to quickly go through this. Director Smith, blah blah blah. I'll do your recruitment. You'll be superior for the next 15 months. You'll be directly accountable to me. John, as your specialist in both field operations, delicate diplomatic negotiations, your place is at the head of the county espionage, but the British government has an even more important mission for you. So days ago, a scientist community developed Sigma Theory, a scientific method capable of producing rapid advances with the potential to throw the world into chaos. Within weeks, we will see the emergence of new weapons with unimaginable destructive power, as well as tools that can influence the economic, society, energy transport, and even human mind. Basically, this is Sigma Theory. This radical, like, scientific advancement is what you're trying to take control of in the game, or every other country in the game is trying to take control of. Our civilization will change beyond recognition. Okay, this is just basically fluff. I'm going to skip this so we can actually get to the main meat of the game, because I've listened to it. Basically, she's telling us to hire recruits, research Sigma Theory, and basically do it before other people do it. I swear that symbol has changed. I swear it was... that's just me. Maybe they changed it for some reason, I don't know. But anyway, these are your agents. You basically, when you recruit them, each agent comes with a particular statistic. This is basically a bit like... This is a bit like... Plague Inc. or any other kind of like pandemic kind of game, like, or any of the other kind of global spanning espionage games you've played. You have different statistics. These statistics will affect, for example, athletics is to do with physical activity, like physically restraining someone, breaking into somewhere, outrunning people, that kind of thing. Mental is stuff like swaying people, hacking, a whole host of stuff, and all these agents are... You can unlock a lot of agents. There are a lot of agents to unlock, and they are unlocked for accomplishing different things in game. Don't know what that's. Maybe these aren't ones that I've just unlocked. These ones I've already unlocked before, so maybe these were the original. I don't know. I see what it is. Basically, the 4 that aren't highlighted were ones that I haven't used before, or were ones I used the last time around. So they're telling me these are the ones used before, and the ones with the exclamation mark is telling me that these are the ones I haven't. So they all come with their own backstories. I won't read them all to you, but I'll go over the basic details. You have 2 primary stats, mental and physical, which are used for different activities. They have traits like seducer. Few scientists can resist this agent's charms. High profile. They have strengths and weaknesses. This agent's cover is high profile than most and needs to be especially careful when moving between countries. Master of the skies, can freely travel even if the countries where the agent is wanted. Basically, if you like, that ties into like other mechanics in the game. For example, if you are caught doing stuff in the country and the country becomes suspicious enough, they could put out an arrest warrant for your agent. So if you go there, try to enter the country normally, you will be arrested. You can also do stuff like recon, which gives you like, if you go to a country in question with this character, they already have like advanced knowledge of in the country in question. And And then you've got stuff like elite characters, like this gentleman here from South Korea. An expert sleight of hand, he was feted as the best magician in Asia at the age of 16, best in the world at the age of 19. After initial specialization in manipulation and close-up magic, he went on to mentalism, hypnotism, and illusions. Handsome and intelligent and subtle, he can make him for the perfect agent. Chu has, however, failed to hide his greatest secret from the intelligence services. He is a refugee from North Korea, and he bears a fleeting hatred for his regime. He's waiting for just the right moment to perform a very special task on a certain dictator. Basically, yeah. This is an elite character. You can only ever have one of them. Any character that has like a star, basically an award next to a medal next to their name, basically is an elite character, and you can only ever have one. Elite agents are so expensive to hire that you can only have one on your team. He can seduce, master of disguise, jailbreaker, exfiliation expert. An old hand at exfiltration. This agent can complete such operations more quickly than their peers. Omitted. This agent is completely unbreakable and will never reveal the compromising information even under torture. For example, this person sounds great, though wanting to go after someone in North Korea may cause us problems, especially if that pops up. So my rule of thumb is I like to take someone who's a bit more unpredictable. See, like honest, black belt, pacifist, elite. If an extraction operation needs to be aborted, this agent's sixth sense for pursuers makes them especially elusive. I like that person. Some of them are better than others. They all have different traits. I won't go into all the traits now. Some are beneficial, some are negative. So I'm going to recruit her. And because I've done it before, like the first time you do it, for example, you normally have to persuade them, which means you have to sit down, read their dossier, and then pick up on their character traits, which you can then use to basically persuade them to your cause. For example, this lady here, Ruhia, is only a daughter of a Kashmir Raj. Despite her refined social skills, her status as an Indian woman has defined her fate. In spite of her constant battle for feminism, she has been refused everything. The Dun School, standing for the Lux Sabah, she thus chose a career in diplomacy in London under the close watch of her parents. In 2 months, she will be forced to marry the Raj when they bring state. We know she plans to flee. For example, this agent is more efficient at convincing foreign scientific effect. Methodical, it takes longer to do stuff, but it always shows results. Anonymous, no hacker is better at covering the tracks of this agent. Their intrusion will never be traced back to you. High profile. This agent's cover is highly profile than most and needs to be especially careful when moving between countries. So, she actually might be useful. So if we recruit her, it will pop up with things saying, why should I risk my skin for you? With me, you'll be able to skip your destiny. I want to give a Muslim state that means to grow peacefully. If we act right now, we can steer the world towards a true destination of peace. You have to try and read their backstories and then persuade them. So for example, with me, you'll be able to state your destiny. And it doesn't take much. You just need to read their profile. There's normally a hint in it in what they want to do. So, and we've got her on our team. I want someone who is good at athletics. I got two quite smart brain people. 7 and a 7, or 7-6 and 7-4. So we want someone who's good at athletics. We're grabbing. This was the bloke I had last time. He's basically a general, just good agent, I found. And we want someone, who's the last person we want? We want a very, average character across, not average, but we want someone who's strong across the board, not just in a particular area. We can't have him because he's an elite. I'm going to go with this gentleman here. I've had him before. He has an arrest warrant, though, out for him in China, so if he goes to China, he'll basically get nabbed. So, achievement just unlocked, so we'll proceed. These are our agents. So, here we go. This is the world. Because I've done the tutorial before, I know basically what I'm doing. So, this is a turn-based system. The game basically goes on until one side wins. You have your research. These researches will unlock various things which you can give to factions or to your own faction. in the hopes of basically buffering your state. These are the people under your control: your spouse, your agents, and what equipment they have, and what they're doing. You can then subsect it down to like scientist. And you see the weaknesses of our scientist. He's corruptible, which is not great. Corruptible. This scientist is aware that his knowledge could be worth a lot of money. Without ties, misogynist. Basically, these are all flaws. These are the things that other agents will go after to get at your scientist. Because the other AIs in the game are trying to do this. Diplomats are people that you're in contact with, who are basically representing the other nations, and you can try and exploit them and negotiate to get stuff as much as you can. This is your country. The intelligence that you have, your contacts, and then you have private groups, influence groups, armed groups. These are like other factions will pop up in the game, both to hinder and to aid, and to basically hinder or like annoy you as they see fit. Not annoy you. Hinder or aid you as they see fit. But first, so we have turn 1. We are currently in the rankings with our research. We're at top tier. So we have several things in this game. We have a surveillance drone's defensive device can be used to detect threats during an exfiltration, support your agent and to investigate. This offensive drone can be used to launch an airstrike and quickly and discreetly. Right. So first things first, we need to go to. We can click on a country, for example, and we can maybe make contact with someone. But first off, we need to find one of our experts. So she can do recon in Britain and in France. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell her to... You basically hold down left mouse button and drag them to the country in question where to go. So she's going to go to France to recon. I want to leave someone at home. He's okay hacking. He can... Well, these are your missions you can do. He can seduce, he's loyal, and he's stubborn. So he's not... I want someone who... Yeah, so... I'm just trying to find someone who's a good methodical puppeteer master. Right. So, she's relatively competent. We can try and hack, which is to use their intelligence. Hacking basically works in the way that it's basically a dice roll between the country in question and the person you're trying to hack. So, for example, if you want to hack someone who's... We don't want to hit someone who's got high security. But at the same time, we want to hit some... This is like a balance again, trying to find someone who's good at... Who will basically trust us. So let's go with... Germany to hack. And we'll say... We can delete arrest warrants, locate scientists, install ransomware, lower the alert level, which is basically can go up and down during missions, steal Sigma data. Let's go locate scientist with her. Which will pop here. It'll take her 2 days to do it. In the meantime, we'll send... Sorry, it still gets a bit used to it. We'll send him to... We'll fast travel, which means he won't have his gun, but he won't need it. And we'll send you to... We'll just infiltrate so we can have his gun. We'll send you to Germany. This is the Doom Clock. Events can move it closer towards Global Armageddon. And the purpose of the game is to get 15 research, 15 developments in a mega theory before the Doom Clock runs out. Our relations with your superiors. This can be affected in multiple different ways. And you can spend it as a resource to get scientists. We can discover the technology. Technology discovered by giving to a lobby 2 points. Basically, if we discover technology, we get more points. If we steal it from someone, we can reverse engineer it, which gives us less, or we can get it given to us to our lobby, which basically gives us a little bit. But the best way to earn points and win the game is to predominantly learn your own technology. So we're going to end the turn, and our characters go about their business. Directives is the current progress. So we're working on health and robotics. We could try and find other scientists to boost these fields, or find different scientists who can develop other technology. So season here. So we're going to go... You can go it through her profile, do it from here. We can go agent, we'll try and locate Six Sigma scientists. We'll take 2 turns. So we could investigate potential... We're just going to investigate for scientists right now. Just to see what they've got. We'll take us a couple of turns to locate them. And you can investigate, and we'll investigate their ambassador to see what information we can get out on him. Right, so this is our results. I've infiltrated the Sigma database, and I sent you the details for the scientists in Germany. Excellent. I've investigated the diplomat and proved him more successful than either I could have hoped for. He's compassionate. He's paranoid. This diplomat will warm to you. Basically, these are the things we can use to exploit him to get what we want. They're still busy researching. And we're still third in the table, which means the Russians and Germans have taken over us. So let's see what our targets in Russia are. We can't tell what they are. So what we can do is we can go investigate a target, which is one of these scientists. These are the options we can use against him, but we need to identify him first to have a better chance to use that against him. At the start of the game, your influence is low, so there's not much you can do. Right, so we can, let's see. We could try hacking another person, though I would not. Right. We go hack another person in Germany. Let's see what we can get. So we can steal Sigma data, we can locate scientists. No. We could try lower the alert level. That could be something we could do. Or we could go to another country, let's say America, and go, oh, that's not, I didn't want to do that. You can cancel an order that the character has by doing that, so you turn it off. We can go hack, do it there, and locate scientists. And let's do that for now. Our defense is quite high, so we should be okay. We unlocked the scientist, the director. Research facility is too well protected. It won't be able to retrieve any intel. Okay. Director and his accomplice was able to infiltrate the research facility and gathered all the accessible intel I could gather. This is what they're studying. There's 2 targets. Right, okay. Right, so this is your spouse. This is events that can pop in the game. Hi John, I heard you were assigned as head of the Sigma division. Please accept our congratulations. And you can influence your wife, and she can influence you in various ways. Let's go with this one, which means the world to me. I'm touched. Don't go out of your way. Blah blah blah. I wish there was like voice stuff done in this game, but it's still early access. Your romantic relationship is improved, which is less likely for her to betray you. Right, so he messed up, and their paranoia has increased, which is not great for us. I'm going to make an appointment with the head of Germany, request a meeting, which will get that there. He can then, I'm going to get him to investigate this ambassador in Turkey. And I want you to investigate one of their scientists here. He's still busy doing his stuff, so that ends our turn. Right, the secret were very well hidden. I couldn't find anything of action. Right, okay, so we're going to have to drop the level. I have infiltrated their Sigma database and sent you the details of the scientists in America. Okay, so this might have bugged actually, realizing because I can't access her thing here. I'm going to try and hack it and lower the alert level. In the meantime, let's try and investigate the ambassador again, see if we can get any information out of him. They're still doing stuff. There's not a lot we can do until we get enough information to kidnap someone. Right, he's ignorant and formal. There's some first formal respects during negotiations. This gullible don't not believe your propositions are advantageous if you present them in the best possible light. Okay. This is one of their scientists. Right, okay, so we have a scientist here. So what is he like? She's corruptible, chauvinistic, but she is corruptible where that knowledge could be worth a lot of money, so we could try and corrupt her. So we can take an action, which is we can go to here, available target, select her, and we could try bribe, which will run off our intelligence. She is loyal, but she is corruptible, so it's likely this will work. It'll take us 2 days to get that done. In the meantime, there's not a lot he can do in the country, unfortunately. I might send him back home. I mean, we can send him to the States. Right, there we go. It was reduced but to 40. Excellent. Director has been accomplished. Military operations. This is one of the ways you can help sway people to your cause. So, for example, we can send our attack drone to help in the operations with South in Iraq for Korea, which will help their opinion of us. He's got nothing to do. Here's the scientist. He's geeky. The scientist enjoys discussing cybersecurity. And he's astrology. We could try abducting him, seducing him. That runs off intelligence. It may not work. We can try. It would take him 5 days. We could just try like abducting him, but it may not be worth it this time because it will annoy Germany no end. So, investigate this person. We're trying to find weaknesses that we can exploit. We're still relatively early in the game. We've still got an outstanding person. Let's see what we can do with hack. Because our hacking skill is relatively good. Let's try France. We could go steal Enigma data, which may be useful, and store ransomware. One thing I do wish was that they would pop up and basically tell us what this stuff did. Because at the moment it's not telling you what like ransomware does. Like, so he's in America. And we know there's a couple of scientists. What I'm going to get him to do, actually, now that I think about it, why can't I select him? Come on. That might have been a glitch. But as I said, this game is in early access, so some things occasionally bug out. Right. Unlocked more stuff. We blackmailed her to our cause. This is just more like fluff. I'm not going to go into it. I thought perhaps we could work together if we hand over some of our research, keep it our secrets. Okay. This is when our relationship with Britain went down. And this is one of the other factions. There's a lot of stuff that I could cover in this game. There are various factions and groups and all kinds of stuff that goes on in the world that you can take care of. Our relationship with Britain is low, which is not great, which if you get to 0, force out of the game as well. What's this? What do they want? They want it in Germany. There's a lot to manage in this game. This game is very complex. It's good. It's relatively over. Once you know what you're doing, it's over relatively quickly. It'll take you a few hours, so it's not a long one to be invested in. They're doing stuff. She's working for us. Just try and extract her. Do we have any information on her on the French? No, we'll just basically snoop for information. Investigate her. We need to get some more scientists, really. Right, there we go. Boosting our research. Yeah, disappointed. She's craven. Because there's ways you can do it. She's paranoid, for example. We could get the scientist here. Okay, direct bad news. Russia has completed the work. Okay. They can boost it. Yeah, the Russians are ahead of us now. So, this is the diplomatic screen. For example, we can try and get him to trust us. If we click on the profile, you can see he's compassionate and paranoid. Which will basically give us traits to negotiate with him. So we could go, for example, you and I are the only ones who know the truth. Let's go with that. So that will boost his feeling about us. We could go improve relations, acquire a scientist, economic advantage. We could go improve your relations with your own government, because ours is pretty low. We could do that. Future considerations. Acceptable. So you can basically acknowledge an outstanding agreement, and it will basically boost the standing of our own government. They're all doing stuff, except for her. I mean, we could send her into one of these countries to look for information. We could get her to hack. At the moment, she's really good at hacking. So let's try and drop the alert level down in case we need to exfiltrate someone, basically get someone out. She's not doing anything. So we can actually send her to Germany. And he can look into one of the scientists. Government has regained confidence in us. That's nice. Let's investigate a potential scientist. Okay. Bunch of stuff happens. Mission accomplished. I've got intel we could use on this scientist. Rightio. Their level drops. Their level drops. Excellent. Well, his level went up and then they dropped it back down. Proven relations with China. Because we can't go to these ones until they run out. Or Japan. Okay, so I thought I sent you there already. Okay, so he's got nothing to do. He's geeky, so it's not going to work. We might just have to snatch him, which will require a lot of strength. Let's snatch someone. I want to show you how snatching works. So let's abduct the scientist. He'll make an abduction attempt tomorrow. That person's working fine. Their security is low, security is low. Let's try steal Sigma data from them. since we have compromising information on the ambassador, we'll request a meeting. Let's see if we can butter him up. His charlatan is not very compassionate, despite his good reputation, which makes them less effective. Yeah, let's convert to our side. Everybody's doing stuff, so let's end the turn. Right, director, everything is ready for the capture. Acceleration plan, director, the mission is accomplished. I'm getting all the detail we need. So there's various stuff we have. I need your agent, Noble, for the whole day. Don't ask questions. Let's just say that Lieutenant will help me. Who's Noble? Pleasure. Ah, that's not too bad. So he's going to be busy one day. Your spouse will basically call on you for missions from time to time. So we can do an exfiltration mission and pick people up. This is how the game works. You basically infiltrate, you capture, you extract, and you try and get ahead in the competition. We are actually falling behind a lot, and we need to sort of pick up the pace. So, let's do this, shall we? We can extract him. What is he? About ties. We can convert him. We can extract. What's she good at? We don't know anything about her. I want it will take us a turn for this to get into position. So let's identify her. Actually, no, we're going to cancel that. Wait a turn. Right, everything's taken care of there. Alertness increased to 70%, which isn't great. Another faction joins us. These are all different factions. They have all kinds of stuff that you can offer, and they give you advantages in tech and money and all the things you can use to basically help boost your standing in the world. I won't go into them. We seem to have jumped up in the ranks. The security in America has gone up, which is not great. So let's actually attempt to lower security level. You can go to Turkey. Everybody's set. So yeah, let's exfiltrate the scientist. Expected the game I wanted to show you. So, I thought we had the spy drone in effect. Obviously we don't. That's annoying. So let's start the mission. And that's what happened. We had to get to the end of the objective. We encountered an enemy agent that I had to neutralize. It didn't go well, but he retreated and I escaped. I'm filthy, understood. Okay, so their alertness went up, and we can move 300 feet. Right. Let's just flee. That kind of thing says, do you want to fight? Do you want to run? I took a cab, but I have a bad feeling with the driver. He's mistake. Let me get out now. That used her intelligence espionage. Okay, intelligence score. I reassured him and he left me out at the crossroads. Okay, let's just keep fleeing. If your health reaches 0, you die or get captured. You can get captured as well. I'm in the subway. The guards are moving through the train and they're checking the passengers looking for me, I think. The civilians neutralize them discreetly, non-lethal. Pull the train alarm and get off the train. Okay. Personally, I got turned around in the tunnels and crossed the path with Tripoli, eluded them, but the alarm has gone up. Which is a bit annoying, I think. Because it's sort of like, oh yeah, like that's the thing I find a bit strange. It's like I could fight the guards, and it's like, oh, that's not going to draw attention to me. Let's just flee. We just need to get to the extraction point. Steal the ambulance. But we get further ahead. I suppose I could have... Yeah, now they're all on us. Let's just keep fleeing. This is the thing I find really annoying. Was that... I suppose I should have just... I suppose that I should have just, like, gotten stuff to heal myself. Like, why would you go into the ambulance, though? That's my question. There was no casualty speed, alert over 4, and they can't prove it's us, but we basically have the scientist now in our possession. She's back in Britain, she's healing up. The British government likes us more because we captured a scientist. And this is how the general game works. There are things that we could do. For example, we got people in... let's see if we can find anybody to investigate. She's healing. It will take time for her to heal. It will take 5 days. They're all doing stuff. There will also be agents in our own country trying to find people. One or more of enemy spies have entered our territory. Interrogates the plan to act in 5 turns. Yeah, they've got stability. Understood. These are just all. It's. Yes. I wish there were like at least some kind of voiceover. So it's a diplomat. We can see what she's good at. She's craven. We don't. She hasn't got anything concrete because we didn't investigate her enough. Let's try to just flatter her. Economic advancements. That just seems to work and boost our standing in our own country. So this is home. We can counter and try and identify enemy agents patrolling at home. We can do that. He's found stuff in Turkey, but the increases our alarm. This indicated where we discovered technology, which means we're basically now on our way to getting stuff. You can give it to factions, for example. You give it to a faction. Publicize our results. I wish this would tell us what it did. Oh, this was just a doom clock. Sorry. Yeah, this will reduce the doom clock by 1. Or we can give this technology to the Verse Corporation, which basically increases our standing with the government. We'll give it to the corporation. Yeah, he's not happy about this. Okay, but you'll be escorted. Because they're just trying to stop people from stealing our scientists. The United States have abandoned the race for Sigma Tech, which basically means that someone has stolen their scientist. So, what's he depressed about? Yeah, we're going to make a meeting. We're going to take her out. Request meeting. I'm sending her to there. Just to see what's happening with my scientist. There you go. She's boosted up now. Right, he's increased by... Security's increased in Germany, which is not great. How goes your investigation? There's another one. Right, okay. You're going to fly back to Britain and deal with them. As are you. Right. Complete your absence. Well, this was the thing I don't understand, which was that with their doing the stuff there, so it's a bit hard to be everywhere at once. So you're there. Take an action, available target. We can do strength or intelligence. We're going to try and counter and capture them. And you're going to identify that person. Do we know if they have any scientists here? Yeah. These guys are really pushing onwards. So we do that. Race and improved North Korea. So it's South Korea. So that's up. Blah blah blah. We forwarded one of their agents. Another council of states. These are just all factions, and they can give you benefits and various bits and pieces. Right, what do they want? Military intervention, military intervention. So send that person there. You can go back home. Okay, so we've got to identify this person. Aphrodite. Aphrodite. We're higher intelligence, so we should be able to capture her without issue. Right, Turkey stuff has gone up. I've confirmed the capture of spy Aphrodite. We can interrogate her. I've lost contact. We lost one of our scientists. Right. She wanted a day off. She's refusing to work. Why? Okay. Silly scientists. Okay, so you're going to Germany. Security is high. We're going to be identifying all the people that are trying to infiltrate our country because it's getting on my nerves. You're going to go to Germany as well. So you've wanted for arrest. Because we pulled that person out. Yeah. Then, in case we need to pull that person out for extraction. Still in the area, still in the area. Okay, so what do we know on her? She's corruptible, formal, paranoid. Okay, so we've got to blackmail her to get her high up. What exactly do you want? We want one of your scientists. She's working for us. We can take the other person. We can do economic advantage because we've got high morale of our own country. This is the thing I find annoying. We have blackmail material and she still refuses to negotiate with us, which doesn't make any sense to me. It should be something that we can just automatically get. I want actually France out of the running. She's loyal to France, so she won't go. That's annoying. Identify. Trying to figure out who these spies are who are trying to get away from me. That's the ambassador. See if we can get some compromising files on her. Yeah, psychiatric history. People wanting stuff. Yeah, they're in the lead. He made a run for it. Right. We're not doing particularly well in the rankings, to be honest. We need to be trying to find more scientists. They're doing stuff to get that up. Right. She's got a hack. Low alert level. You've got to go Russia. Haven't been able to find targets. Which is annoying, because I really need to find who these scientists are. Right, she's very powerful. And he's not as... He hasn't got as much stats as he, so we're just going to straight up counter her. This is one of the problems I find. Once you get to like the top in the game, all the AI agents will just constantly attack your character. Yeah, just trying to seduce her. Do that. Okay, and you're in there. Try and find scientists. Germany has decreased. They don't like us as much. Their alertness has gone up. Yes, Germany has completed the project. Understood. Relations go down. But you can see how the game basically works now. We could try improving diplomatic relations. Because they're paranoid as anything. We need to try and identify the people in the country. I wish it would tell you who you're basically trying to identify. She's working for us. She's working for us. Go to Russia. Tension is going up. Is she still working for us? No, she isn't. Okay, that sucks. Investigate him. Go back to Russia. This is the thing, I haven't played a lot of this game, but I know how it basically works. He's Craven. Right, I'm just going to straight up just take the scientist. Because make the ducks an attempt tomorrow. Right. 7-8. Try and capture him. At this point I'm playing as a really heavy anti-spy game to try and keep people off my back. Right, I've confirmed the capture of the spy leak. Right. Information we can use. Right, so we can send an attack drone, but I want to send a spy drone to Britain. No, there's no counterintelligence. I want to try and... This is the one thing I don't like. Is that I don't like the fact you select a country and it pops up. I'd like it just to lower the alert. You have to manually click it to pop up rather than it to be automatically pops up. Right, he's in position. Infiltrate. Got what? What's that? That's done. 4 days remaining for them, so we can send a drone to help with that. Okay. He's in Berlin. We'll do it. Drops the relationship down, doesn't matter. Drone is en route. You're in the way. Not going to expatriate him because their level's too high. No guns. Locate scientists. Yeah. Right. Germany's levels up. They got no trust in us. So that sucks. Bird is on. I don't like the fact it takes so long just for bird, like a surveillance thing, to get across the channel. It seems a bit ridiculous to me. They got a lot of scientists. We've got to hack, try and yeah, let's try and lower their warning system. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes, yes. You can see, like, this is a good game. It's one that needs to balance multiple things. So C's down. But you can see what I mean. You can go to title screen. We can log in to continue the game. But yeah, that's basically Sigma Theory. As you can see, it looks simple, but it has a lot of depth to it. I personally like the game. There are things I think need to be polished. I do think the game needs to have sound. Like, it needs to have voices done to it. Because otherwise you're just reading walls of text. But it's a good game, and it has a lot of replayability to it. And I've been playing it a lot longer than I thought. Like, this video was supposed to be like half an hour, and it's now nearly an hour long. So you can see, like, the competitive nature of it, all the things you can do and plan. I do suggest you, like, have a look at it. It may not be for everyone, but I personally found it interesting. This has been Sigma Theory, and I've been Cornish-Knight. If you have liked, please press the like button. If you were subscribed, please press the subscription button, and check me out on Twitter or on YouTube. And I'll see you all again next time. Goodbye, folks.